Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hallo und welcome to Gegenpressing, the Bundesliga podcast. I'm Manu, he's Stefan Bienkowski, and Stefan, it wasn't quite meant to be. We're not getting a full German final. Bayern Munich go out in dramatic fashion to Real Madrid. 2-1 is the final score. Before we get into this, how is it going? How did you see the game? How are you feeling at this very late hour in Europe while we're trying to digest all of this?
Yeah, obviously extremely disappointed for Bayern Munich. I think we were all getting excited about the idea of an all-Bundesliga final, harping back to obviously that final at Wembley once upon a time between Dortmund and Bayern. And yeah, it's a real shame it hasn't come to pass. There's a lot to chew from this game, a lot of emotion, especially through the manner in which it finished. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where to start with it, to be honest. But I think on when you kind of take everything into account and maybe just in general, I think Madrid probably were the better team over the course of 90 minutes. I think they deserve to go through to the final. I think there's a lot of question marks over the way that Bayern played. But yeah, like you said, let's get into it. But yeah, obviously very disappointed and upset that Bayern didn't reach the final because I thought a Bundesliga final would have been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think that on the balance of play, I think Real Madrid deserved the victory here at the Bernabeu. I think on the other hand, though, this was a game plan that the Rekordmeister for a large part executed quite well. Sit deep, look for an outlet. Try to get the outlet. They didn't do it quite as well as Borussia Dortmund did yesterday, simply because they didn't have maybe the same kind of player until, by stroke of misfortune to Serge Gnabry, Alphonso Davies came on, right, and provided them actually with the unexpected sort of outlet. But, they didn't quite execute the transition game as well as Dortmund did yesterday. And I think there's two reasons for this. I think this Bayern Munich, by far and large, walked wounded here. You could see Musiala being taped up on his leg. You could see Pavlos being taped up on his legs. There's reports that Sané has been basically playing in pain for months now, right? And so I don't think they quite had the same freshness that Dortmund had yesterday against PSG. And then, I mean, the other thing is to Stefan, this Real Madrid side is just a level above PSG. And that's the reality here as well, that they have Real Madrid have the sort of players that PSG do not have, especially in midfield, especially on the wings. They have Vinicius Junior, who I thought was excellent, really tested Kimmich, and at some point Bayern Munich had to put 3 guys on him. I think too that in Toni Kroos they have the best midfielder in the world at the moment, who gives that Real Madrid side so much stability in the middle of the park, right? There's a couple times where Bayern tried that through ball, and we all know Kroos is this pass machine, but I think what we don't quite comprehend is how excellent he is in preventing these quick counter attacks as well, right? And so they have him, and that made this so much more difficult. And I think what makes this then more frustrating is that when Bayern finally did find a way through, and Alphonso Davies scores this really gorgeous goal, which was probably as close as drawn up as possibly imaginable by Thomas Tuchel when he drew up his game plan, probably having in mind that Serge Gnabry would be the guy to do it, right? But is that I think a lot of things just went simply wrong for Bayern Munich from there on. The tragic hero being Manuel Neuer, when the ball bounces off him and Joselu puts away the rebound, and then that second goal where where it looked like it was offside and then it wasn't. And obviously this was a good goal, but I think there was a lot of mistakes made leading up to those 2 goals in terms of the substitutions. Füllkrug yesterday, for example, I think played the full game, right?
Yeah.
To provide that hold up and taking off Harry Kane, who I think, had a really difficult task at hand here in this game, having to play sort of this single striker, and he simply doesn't have the pace, right, to be the guy to play on the counter. It's just not his play, but that wasn't his job here. His job was to hold the ball in midfield and spring loose one of these other fast guys. And then to take him off, I think actually robbed Bayern Munich of the necessary stability in midfield to hold the result. And so, we need to talk a lot about a lot of different things here, whether it is the fact that this Real Madrid side just seemed a level above, but also that when Bayern Munich finally did have them, there didn't seem to be the right choices made coming from the bench as well.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.